This YouTube channel was started less than 365 days ago, and they've already grown their channel to over 3 million subscribers. If you've been on YouTube lately, you've probably seen channels like Fern that are creating these 3D animated documentary-style videos that are getting millions and millions of views. And according to Social Blade, they are making up to $800,000 per year from ad revenue alone. Personally, I can watch these videos for hours at a time, and I wanted to know the strategy behind their success. So I decided to figure it out. Most people think you need to be a 3D designer to create videos like this, but I've actually found a way to recreate these animations only using AI tools. In this video, I'll share a blueprint with all the steps you need to be able to create documentaries like Fern, even if you have zero 3D design experience. First, we'll create a topic and a script using a custom GPT I've built specifically for this niche. Then we're going to create 3D visuals and animate them into videos using a brand new AI tool. Finally, I'll show you how to edit it all together, and even how to create crazy animations like this one. To make it easy for you to follow along with this blueprint, I've created a free step-by-step document with all the prompts and tools mentioned in the video. However, I also added a golden nugget in there that will help you make the editing on your videos 10 times better, so you do not want to miss out on this. It's completely free, so make sure you go pick it up in the first link in the description. Now, let's get into the first step of the blueprint. The first thing we need to do is come up with a topic and a storyline for our video. Fern is usually creating videos about historical events, politics, or crimes, so we want to do something similar to that. To make this process easy for you, I've actually built a custom GPT model that has been designed to create topics, scripts, and visuals for videos in this specific niche. I did this by spending hours feeding the GPT with data from all the most successful channels in this niche. I've given it hundreds of topics and scripts to analyze, and I've honestly never seen anybody else do something like this. Let me show you how it works. Once you open up the GPT, it will look like a normal ChatGPT chat. Now let's enter a prompt saying, what would you say are some good topics to create a Fern-style YouTube video about? It'll then give us a list of 10 topics that are similar to ones that have already gone viral. After looking them through, I thought the first one about John Titor sounded the most interesting. If you didn't know, he was a guy who sent cryptic messages back in the early 2000s and claimed to be a time traveler from 2036. So, we have our topic ready, let's create a script. To do this, all you gotta do is enter a prompt saying, go ahead and generate idea number 1. The GPT will then, without us even having to instruct it to, create both a script and in-depth descriptions for each scene of the video. I've actually programmed it to write all scripts with the same type language and wording as Fern is using. Now the final thing we need to do is enter a prompt saying, go ahead and create image prompts for each scene, which will make it create in-depth prompts we can use to generate the images, which takes us on to the second step of the blueprint: visuals. To create visuals, you need some kind of image generator. Personally, I'll use the ChatGPT 4o model, but you can use whatever one that works for you. However, we can't just start generating the prompts the GPT gave us. We want this 3D polygonal style we can see in all the viral videos, and these prompts are not going to get us that result. But I have the solution. After trying hundreds of different prompts, I finally found the one that got me the result I was looking for. I've turned this prompt into a prompt template you can use to get this style on any image you want. You'll find it inside the step-by-step document if you want it for yourself. Here's what you want to do next. Open up a new chat in ChatGPT and paste in this prompt. As you can see, I've left a bracket that says, describe subject and pose. In this bracket, you want to paste in the prompt for each scene. To create the visual for scene 1, I'll just copy the image prompt it gave us for that scene and paste it into this bracket. Now hit generate and ChatGPT will give us this image with the exact 3D polygonal style we're looking for. It's literally identical to the one Fern is using. Now you just want to repeat the exact same process until you've generated images for each scene. So, I've now generated images for all the scenes, and as you can see, they turned out really nice. To animate the images, we'll use another tool, so go ahead and download all of them to your computer one by one. There are a lot of different image-to-video tools out there. Personally, Leonardo is my favorite, which I'll explain why in a minute. But if you want to use another one, that will work too. So, head over to Leonardo and sign up for a free account with your email address, unless you already have one. Once you're on the home page, you want to click on this button that says Video. Start off by uploading the image for scene 1 and paste in the same prompt you used to generate it in ChatGPT. For the settings, you want to go with their Motion 2.0 model to get the best results. Under, you'll see this motion control feature, which is the reason I like to use Leonardo. These are presets that will add camera movement to your video, and I recommend you use this feature on all of your visuals. For this one, I'll go with dolly left, but then you can switch around between them. Next, set generation mode to 720 and video dimensions to 16 by 9. Finally, hit enter and Leonardo will create a video that looks something like this. As you can see, there are no mess ups at all. It literally looks like it's created by a professional 3D designer. The camera movement is smooth and the character is moving in a natural way. Now, continue doing the exact process on the other images until you've animated all of them. I've now animated all the images and they turned out just as good as the first one. Go ahead and download each one of them and we can move on to the next step. Creating a voice-over. There are tons of text-to-speech tools out there, but the one I use is called 11 Labs, which I think has the most realistic voices. The voice you're listening to right now is made by this thing, so head over there and sign up for an account. Then go to the right, click on Voices, and find one you think will fit the style of your video. But after looking around for a while, I couldn't find one, so instead, I used their voice cloning feature to clone a voice used by a viral channel in this niche, and the result was perfect. Now all you need to do is go back to ChatGPT, copy the script, and paste it into this box in 11 Labs. You can use commas, capital letters, and exclamation marks to add different tones and emotions. Then click on Generate Speech, and you'll have your voiceover ready in a few seconds. Listen through the entire thing to make sure it all sounds good. If not, you can just regenerate it a couple of times. Once you're happy with the result, click on this download button in the bottom right. Now that we have all the animations and the voiceover ready, we can finally move on to the next step of the blueprint. I will show this part in Adobe Premiere Pro, but you can use whatever editing software that works for you. First, create a new project and import the animations and the voiceover. Start off by dragging the voiceover to the timeline. As you can see, there's a lot of pauses in it, so use the razor tool and remove all of the silent moments to give the voiceover a faster pace. Just make sure it sounds natural. Now start adding the animations above the voiceover in chronological order. I'll start with the animation for scene 1 and place it in the beginning. Some of them are either too long or too short, so you might have to adjust the length of them so that they match the voiceover. Now continue this same process until you've added all the animations. I've now added all of them, but as you can see, I've left a few blank spaces throughout the video. This is because we're going to use these parts of the video to add some additional visuals that are not animations. If you look at channels like Fern, you'll see that they're not only using animated clips, also YouTube videos, TikToks, images, news reports, or whatever visual that fits the video. There are a few different methods you can use to find visuals. First, if you're looking for images, the easiest way is a normal Google search. For example, in the beginning of the video, I want to add an image of the story's protagonist. So I went on Google, searched for his name, and managed to find this image of him that I thought looked perfect for the video. So I downloaded it from Google and added it into the video here in the beginning. When using images like this, I'd recommend you add some kind of zoom in to make it feel more alive. If you're looking for videos, the easiest way to find them is through social media platforms like TikTok and YouTube. Almost any clip you're looking for is available on these platforms. For example, in one part of the video, it's mentioned how the protagonist was a good speaker. So I went ahead and collected a few videos of some of the greatest speakers the world has ever seen, like Martin Luther King, Ronald Reagan, and Nelson Mandela. Or in this part of the video, it's mentioned that he looked like a scientist, so I found this video of Albert Einstein. Personally, I like to use videos of famous people to give the viewer a sense of recognition. Once you've collected all the videos, you can start adding them throughout the video wherever you think it fits. However, when using this method, you need to be aware of YouTube's rules regarding fair use of other people's content so that you don't get a strike on your channel. And finally, my favorite visual, motion graphics, especially these fast paper cut animations. Just as with the 3D visuals, most people think you need to create these manually in After Effects, which I used to do only a year ago, back when AI wasn't as developed as it is today. However, now there are multiple AI motion graphic tools you can use to create scenes like this in only a few minutes. Specifically for these paper cut animations, I like to use a tool called paperanimator.com. Once you've signed up for an account, all you gotta do is click on Text Match Cut to the right. Set the aspect ratio to 16 by 9 and type in the word you want to highlight in the animation. I want to use this motion graphic in the beginning of the video when the character's name is revealed, so I'll just type in John Titer into this box. Finally, click on Create Text Match Cut, and it'll generate this super good looking motion graphic. I've created hundreds of these back when I ran an editing agency myself, and this animation alone would have taken at least an hour to create. Now go ahead and add it to the timeline, and you'll end up with something like this. Before moving on to the next step, I just wanted to address something I've gotten a lot of questions about lately, which is people getting their channels shadow banned and not getting any views on their first videos. There's actually an easy explanation as to why this is happening. Most of you are posting your videos onto a brand new channel, which is a huge mistake. When you upload to a fresh channel, YouTube's algorithm has literally zero reason to trust you. You have no history, no watch time record, no engagement metrics, and the algorithm will think you're a bot, leading to your videos flopping right away. So, if you have an old channel that's a couple of years old you're not using, you definitely want to use that instead of creating a new one. However, if you're new to the YouTube space and don't have an old channel to use, there's still a way around this problem. I have this friend who's a real wizard when it comes to YouTube. He's grown multiple channels to over 100,000 subscribers. Recently, he started a new project where he's collecting old YouTube channels that were created back in 2006 to 2009 that has a watch time record, videos posted on them, and most importantly, is trusted by the YouTube algorithm. These channels have been around for over a decade, and that alone gives them a massive edge with the algorithm. So when you upload a video, the algorithm is way more likely to push it out. I was on a phone call with him last night and managed to convince him to give you guys a 20% discount if you enter the code AI at checkout. So if you're tired of being bullied by the YouTube algorithm, click the link in the description and get an age channel to save yourself the hurdle of not getting any views when just starting out. The final thing we need to do before we can export the video is adding some sound design, which is an entire video in itself that's overlooked by so many people. However, this is where the golden nugget I told you about earlier comes in. In the last 5 years, I've collected all the editing assets I use into a huge Google Drive folder that I've now made public for anyone to use for completely free. This folder literally has every video asset you could think of. In there, you'll find viral sound effects, songs, video hooks, and editing packs from creators like Iman Gadji and Isaac. So, if you want this huge asset pack for yourself, go pick it up in the top link in the description. After searching around a bit in the folder, I decided to go with this song called Partners in Crime, which I think is perfect for documentary-style videos like this one. Add it to the timeline underneath the voiceover and adjust the volume so that it's not too loud. And finally, we can export the final video. Before I show you the final result though, I wanted to say that if you found some value in this video, I've actually just started a community for people who want to learn more about how to leverage AI strategies like this one. Learning about AI is a very good use of your time, because if you look at Google Trends, you'll see that AI is at an all-time high in popularity and the demand for it is skyrocketing. So investing some time learning more about this skill can be life-changing knowledge. If you're looking into learning more about how to leverage AI to create content and optimize your business, you should check it out, because in there I'll be sharing secret AI tools, tutorials, video assets, and a bunch of other stuff. Since I just started it, it's free to join for the first 100 members. Now let's take a look at the final result.
In November of the year 2000, a user named Time Travel Zero appeared on a message board. He said he was from the year 2036. His name was John Titor. He claimed the world would soon unravel, that America would fracture, that time travel was real, and that he had seen it all before. He wasn't the first to say these things, but he said them calmly, precisely, as if remembering, not predicting. He posted diagrams of a time machine, spoke of divergence, world lines, and quantum drift, answered questions like a scientist, but always with the tone of someone who had nothing to prove.